How often are you getting contacted by people about missing kids or certain cases like that?
Started off, a little bit slower. Um, I would actually be the one reaching out, to people asking me if I would see their posts about missing children, and I would say, "Hey, like, I have a nonprofit, I'm willing to help." And that was how we got the first few, but then after that, I joined some groups and stuff, and people would start messaging, and then I started the TikTok, and now I get them daily. And the problem is simply the financial and time constraints of basically that I still work a full time job, and not, more than a full time job because I work two jobs. And
Yeah.
then I use that to bankroll the nonprofit. And so the biggest problem I have now is I can either, work my job and make money that way. But then if I do that, I don't have much time for the nonprofit.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the goals of the nonprofit would be to uh, make it so that I don't have to work 60 hours a week, working two jobs, and that I could dedicate all of my time to just the nonprofit because there is such a need and a demand that is just not being fulfilled. And so I guess the biggest issue with all these people messaging me and calling me and asking me for help is I'm like, well, I can't. So we've been staying locally in Colorado only, helping people. But I get messages from people in New York, South Carolina, California, Texas, everywhere, and they're all, so desperate and asking for help. You're asking someone to help save your child,
Yeah.
and to be able to say, "I can't. I don't have the time. I don't have the money to travel to to 3 states away or 5 states away."
So how difficult was it to hear somebody like more or less like pleading with you, like, please, fly to New York or wherever and help me find my kids? Like that's gotta be terrible.
It is heartbreaking. But I mean, and it's been so many horror stories that people have sent me about their children, and there's been more than a few that have kept me up at night, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I wish I could go out there and do something about it. Yeah, I feel like this is an epidemic that is just unseen, but it's barely hidden. It's barely beneath the surface, and that anyone that spends even a day or two looking into it will be shocked by what they find.